Manayunk, and welcome back to another episode of Manayunk Morning.
We've got another great episode in store for you this week. We've got Tom from St. Lucifer Foods joining us on the couch.
Yep, and then Meg will be heading down to Sugar Philly for this episode's store tour.
And then I'm going to learn how to make Jason Cooper's signature crab cake sandwich on this week's Dillinger Does It. But first up, the Manayunk Morning Minute.
Plan on dining out this spring with the return of Street Food Festival and Spring Restaurant Week. On Sunday, April 14th, head to Main Street where 70 of the tri-state area's best food vendors will line the sidewalks from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. April 9th is National Gin and Tonic Day. Jason Cooper's Wine Bar can help you celebrate as they'll have $5 gin and tonics all day long. You're invited to the Spiral Bookcase's second Read and Meet on April 10th. The 5th Police District is joining Philadelphia Runners Group on Thursday, April 11th at 6:30 p.m. Nicole Miller Manayunk is hosting an exclusive meet and greet with acclaimed designer Nicole Miller on April 12th. Fun day of live music and limited releases at Main Street Music during Record Store Day on April 13th.
Hop to brunch at Jason Cooper's Wine Bar with a very special guest, the Easter Bunny. Celebrate the start of warm weather by working up a sweat at Merge Dance Studio. Stop by the Spiral Bookcase on April 13th for the Pink Moon Manifestation celebration. Stop by Trek Bicycles from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on April 14th to test ride a variety of all new MTBs. Tuesday, April 16th is Improv Night at the Grape Room. Dogs of all sizes are invited to an Easter egg hunt at the pet-friendly dog bakery. The Backyard Barbecue Brewfest at Manayunk Brewing Company is a beer lover's delight. Come dance the day away at Pet-Friendly Dog Bakery's second annual Dog Prom. And now joining us on the couch, Tom from St. Lucifer Foods. Tom, come on down.
Hey guys.
Hey Tom.
Leo.
Welcome to the couch.
Thank you.
How's everything going today?
It's going really well. How about you?
Good, we're excited to have you here.
Great. Excited to be here.
So Tom, we know a little bit about St. Lucifer, but tell everybody at home more about what you guys do and who you are.
Well, we're a food company specializing in spicy types of dry spices. We also have an oil and a balsamic vinegar.
So what were you doing before getting into this business, and how did this business come about?
The way it all got started was we were given a batch of habanero peppers from a family friend's farm. And the thing with habanero peppers is that they're very, very hot, so you can only use so many of them. So what we decided to do was blanch some of those, stick them into some balsamic vinegar, put them in a pint jars, store them in our refrigerator, and we kind of forgot about them for months on end.
That's how every good story
I know.
Kind of forgot about it.
Like, we came up with it one night, we're like, let's do something with these peppers.
Yeah.
And then just through them sitting in there, we pulled some of them out, we started to dry them on our windowsill. And what we were trying to really create was a more flavorful, more hot crushed red pepper for pizzas and pastas.
So how does that initial, two guys in their apartment, we're gonna make this, turn into what did friends start eating it? And then how did you decide, you know what, this is gonna become a business?
We started to call and research as many different spice companies in the tri-state area. Many phone calls happened before we got one phone call back. They brought us in and they kind of showed us the ropes for the next 3 years. We just went back and forth with them. Constructing the blend. They said you can't do this in the way you're doing it. You need to find dry ingredients and start to blend those ingredients to make it taste like the original batch that you guys did. And that's exactly what we did. Went back and forth. Everything we had in dry form, and then we just started to create it and create it and create it. And that's kind of where we are.
What a story.
Well, this was our original, number 11.
So that was the 11.
11 recipe that it took for us to get to the original is kind of that number, and it's a short abbreviation for St. Lucifer habanero table spice. Our jalapeno table spice, and special about this is the first interaction that we had with Drexel's culinary lab. Our habanero balsamic, to complement that, was the olive oil.
I've had that before.
Yeah. This is our newest product, which we're really excited about, our St. Lucifer Bloody Perfect. We wanted to kind of draw it back and say all the ingredients of a Bloody Mary are pretty intense. There's a lot of them. And what we wanted to do is make a concentrate of all those ingredients, and then you have it all in one little jar, and all you need to do to this is add this to your 8 ounces of clamato juice, which we recommend, and that's it.
In this whole process, what would you say was the greatest challenge that you guys faced?
Really, it's just getting the word out, reaching the public, and getting that our grassroots story out to the public, which is why we do a lot of events. Coming up would be the Manayunk Street Fest that we started with many years ago. We're happy to be back.
Can people order off the website?
Yes.
And what's your website?
It's St. Lucifer Spice, all spelled out, .com. And again, we sell a lot of different retails. A nice feature on our website is that you can type in your address and we'll tell you all the stores, restaurants, and markets that are near your location, so you don't have to spend on the shipping charge.
Well, it was so great having you here today. We
Very
love
nice
learning
being here.
more about
Leo,
St.
nice.
Lucifer.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And now Meg's going to head over to Sugar Philly for this week's store tour.
Thanks, Leo. I'm down here at Sugar Philly for this week's store tour with the owner, Dan. Dan, thanks so much for having us this week.
Thanks for coming.
So Dan, let's start from the very beginning. How did you find yourself running a dessert truck?
I studied political science, and 2008 was the worst time to graduate. Baking was something that I always did. I just kind of did it like off of a whim, and I just kind of chased that feeling. And that went from like doing like cookies and like brownies, and I'm the kind of person that's like always like all in. So I was like, I'm gonna make it the most difficult for myself. A year later, May 2009, my good college buddy of mine, I was like, hey man, I kind of want to start a business. We want to start a food truck because the food trucks in like New York and like LA were like really big. They were like, we don't know how to cook, but we know like the business end of things. So like, what about you? I was like, all right, cool. And I thought about it. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna do this. So then, I was like, okay, I gotta like buckle down. I really gotta buckle down. And I was like trying. And then fast forward 2 weeks later, I tried it, and I was like, this is it. Like, I think you're the guy. So then we started the truck January 2010, and yeah, we've been moving since then.
So where can people find the truck hanging out these days?
The truck right now is at 38th and Walnut. We're trying to figure out what the future is for that one. But we're definitely doing events. We're definitely doing Manayunk Street Festival that's coming up.
So you've been here for almost a year here in Manayunk. What made you decide to open your own storefront?
I think we kind of needed a change, trying to like see what was out there, and we were just kind of looking for the next phase. And we realized like Sugarfield needed a home.
So what are some things that you can find in store that you can't get on the truck?
You can get more macaron flavors here with the truck. We have like 6. Here we have like 9, 10. Probably on more ice cream flavors here. Right now we're not really focusing as much as like, but we will be very soon and when it gets warmer out. We have something called the Quiyamon, and they're always like they're the yeast donut, they're a filled donut. That's the way we do it because I like them.
Well, I do know that people love your macaroons. So what makes them so delicious?
I think one of my strong suits is like making sure that the flavor's there and make sure the texture's there. Like, what's the vision in my head, first of all, and then where is the ingredient taking me? It's never a time where I ever sit down and say, time to be creative, because that's like the worst thing. It's just about like being receptive to like what's around you, and when it does strike, you just kind of like write it down, you hit on it, you kind of think about it.
So why do you like having your business here in Manayunk?
It's like a different environment from the truck. It's not as many students. It's a lot more people who are like kind of settled in. A lot of younger families and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like all these people that kind of just come and support the business, and it's really neighborly.
So when can people stop by to grab something sweet to eat?
We're open Wednesday through Sunday from 12 to 8.
So it's been great getting a tour of your storefront here in Manayunk. Dan, thanks so much for having us.
Thanks for coming by.
And now we're gonna send it back to the couch.
That was a great store tour, Meg.
Yeah, now here you get to head down to Jake's and Cooper's, learn how to make their famous crab cake. So not fair.
Somebody's crabby. Hey guys, welcome to a brand new segment of Dillinger Does It. I'm here with Bruce Cooper of Jake's and Cooper's Wine Bar. Bruce, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, in honor of Street Fest, what are we going to be making today?
We're going to be making our crab cakes that we do out for Street Fest.
All right, fair enough. How do we get started?
It's a very simple process. We have jumbo lump, lump crab meat.
Yep.
And we use jumbo, in this case it's colosso.
Okay.
As you can see how big the pieces are. And then we mix them with brioche crumbs, and we mix them with Lancaster cream,
Okay.
eggs, cayenne, a couple other seasonings that are secret.
Secret.
And then we make it into a base. And the base can sit for a day or two, and then we scoop out in advance, or we actually scoop that morning when we're scooping hundreds of them.
So, Bruce, you can't tell us any of the secrets, right?
Not at all.
All right, I guess we're going to need a little camera magic. Ta-da! And here's the final mix, right?
This is the final mix.
Okay, what next?
So we're going to scoop it,
Okay.
and then we're going to bread it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Come on, let's go. Go right up against it, stuff it in hard.
Good?
Yep. Okay, and you're going to mold it down a little bit like a hockey puck.
Flour.
Key is one hand in one thing and one in the other. Carefully put it into the egg. This covers it, and then we're going to put it right into the breadcrumb. Now from this point, they can be put into the refrigerator and left for that day to be cooked.
Okay.
Next step is clarified butter. The actual secret is we're going from the pan right to the bun.
Okay.
So when the customer comes, they get it right out of the pan and they get it right onto the bun. There's no wait because we have a system down that we do one item. It's called KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yep.
So we'd sell one thing and everyone's waiting in line for food trucks. There's this line that's buzzing right through because people want sometimes
And lemonade. And lemonade.
Lemonade.
Unfortunately, we don't have
extra
any
flavor.
smell-o-vision, so you can't smell it, but it smells delicious. So when do you know that the crab cake is done?
They get a little puffy.
Puffy?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a sixth sense. You have to figure
You
it
just
out.
got to know. Look at that.
And there she goes. The important thing is we use a potato roll.
Potato roll?
Because it's a delicate item, you don't want to be fighting it with a Kaiser roll or something that's even brioche. It's kind of, to me, a little too tough.
Right.
A little bit of lettuce and a little bit of remoulade. I personally like Tabasco on it. And there you go. Once you spread it.
That, yeah. I made a mess,
Okay.
but it's delicious.
Good.
So Bruce, would you say that Dillinger did it?
Yeah, did a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Come on down to Street Fest. Stop by Jake's & Cooper's for some delicious crab cakes. And time to smile and wave and send it on back to the couch.
Well, that's our show for today. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of Manayunk Mornings. As always, special thanks to Terry Leahy Films for producing this episode and all of our show sponsors. As always, I'm Caitlin.
I'm Leo.
And this is Tom from St. Lucifer, and we'll see you next time on Manayunk Mornings.